Today's episode is for the first time ever officially sponsored by Smack's 5th anniversary show. Smack is the longest running comedy brand with weekly English language shows and Chinese and French language shows too. Smack is also a comedy school with 4 different level ongoing programs and occasionally master classes. Smack is a team building and corporate training brand. Smack offers customized comedy shows for charity events, corporate events, and store openings. Smack is everywhere. It's more present than your food than MSG, more ubiquitous than plastic bags, more awesome than taxi drivers, and more laughter every week. Tickets for Smack's 5th anniversary show on June the 4th at the Pearl are selling fast. So go to www.smack.net for all details and follow Smack Shanghai on WeChat. Dear Shanghai fans, Shanghai trash, real Shanghai goods, and fake Laowais. This week's episode is sponsored by kissing. Yes, kissing is everywhere, whether you want to assert your power like Caesar or Eddie Carbone, whether you want to spread diseases faster than coughing or shaking hands, whether you want to make everyone feel awkward at a job interview, or else it's your right to gobsmack people literally. Recently, in the Chinese netizen land, 7 silly but nonetheless and unfortunately experienced ways of kissing have been listed by users with too much time on their hands and no one nearby to kiss. It comes with animated GIFs and all. At number 7, the speckled speck, whereby the initiator transforms themselves into a cock, and by that I mean rooster, and starts pecking the receiver's face with pouted lips. Let us know if you can fly and lay an egg after that, all the cocks usually don't. At number 6, the infamous lick over, which allows the initiator to smother the receiver's face with a coat of smelly saliva, thus perpetrating the natural habits of the slug, a common delicacy in China, so don't feel bad, but honored if this happens to you. At number 5, the twist and turn, just pout your lips, come into contact and ring your lips right and left, and hope for the best, but remember no tongue allowed. At number 4, the mouth cunning linguist, which dictates that your tongue quickly darts in and out of your stupefied partner's mouth. At number 3 is a variation of the lick over, which I have dubbed the hungry kiss. Just eat your partner's face like a sloth on acid. At number 2, experienced divers will hold their breath as long as possible and seal their lips against their partners until blue faces and popped-out eyes happen. Finally, at number 1 is the head kiss, which is basically throwing your whole face against your partner's, going by the never-bulging principle, which states that if your new date is unconscious, they cannot complain about your awful kissing skills. Welcome to the 18th podcast episode of Shanghai Comedy Corner, the only podcast in which a French dude speaks English and interviews Americans in China. That's right, I'm the only one. I'm talking to you from the redundantly famous 72 Collective Recording Studio out here in southern Xuhui District, prying open the funny part of your brains with golden chopsticks, and unbelievably bringing you fun and people of note via Shanghai Comedy Corner. This week, American record lover, gayest straight guy I know, and I say this as a compliment, bar owner and columnist Sacco, and I will bring you weird news and Shanghai stage news. It's random, it's fun, and it's as unexpected as real alcohol in a cheap local bar. Hello, Sacco.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I am super, thank you.
Good, how was your day?
My day was super. As I mentioned before, I just came from Happy Valley, which is not too far from the studio here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're ever a guest on this beautiful podcast, you should come down early and head to the Happy Valley.
Yeah, and get wet.
And get wet, yeah. Or if you're stupid like me, you refuse to pay the 5 kuai for the poncho, so you're soaked all day. Because I'm an idiot.
Well, let's discuss news with the idiot, and let's go directly to the weird news around Shanghai and China. First weird news of the podcast is 1980 Chinese comic book adaptation of Star Wars found in Shanghai. And it's pretty awesome. I don't know if you've seen the pictures. You can go to shanghais.com.
I'll just visualize it. So
yeah. Basically, they're quite good, with all the plots and the characters. It's pretty
And it's all in Mandarin, huh?
Yeah, it's all in Mandarin, and they're pretty accurate with the attack of the Death Star.
So is it just a straight ripoff, or what? Or is this actually a new story? Or?
It's a kind of a straight ripoff, but however, the funny part is that they got Chewbacca wrong. He looks like a big ape, and all the minor characters are kind of wrong too. But the very interesting part is, I don't know if you can see this, but if you go to Shanghai.com, you will see this picture with Darth Vader standing next to a big screen for his plan to destroy the Earth, but he doesn't really want to destroy the Earth. It says the target is Kennedy Space Center.
Well, first of all, he shouldn't be destroying Earth. He should be destroying like Tatooine or one of those places. So Earth shouldn't really be involved. Second of all, hope to God J.J. Abrams doesn't get a hold of this, because I'm pretty sure if he saw any second of this, and then he would just incorporate into his new Star Wars, because he's the worst person in the world. So.
Another Chinese adaptation of it is there's a dinner scene where a duck is being stuck into a toaster oven. So just throw that in there. And
wait, that's as in Star Wars as
in
well?
In Star Wars as well.
Okay, well, that seems to make sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
You're relative.
Completely. Another weird news: the world's oldest pants discovered in China. So for all the hippies out there,
I think it's a corduroy.
Yeah, it is corduroy. It's made of 3 different kinds of wool apparently, and it's like 3,000 years old.
And it's from Mongolia or from China?
It's in the Shanghai graveyard in China's Tarim Basin, which I have no idea where it is.
I don't make it there enough. That's what I know. That's what you know,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, I should really go there more often, like a weekend stroll.
A little day trip.
So if you didn't know that China was manufacturing all the trousers of the world, well, now you have proof that it's started here.
3,000 years? How?
Yeah, 3,000 years old.
No, there's got to be pants before that. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sure there were pants before that, but we can't find them.
Okay.
It's pretty good condition, actually.
Yeah, not bad looking.
And it's probably
hipster trash.
It's very hipster, and you can see, I don't know, but people go to Shanghai.com to see the picture. You can see the slit or the opening where baby Chinese boys and girls have now a slit, just in case they need to poo or pee quickly. And this was for horse riders. Believe it or not. I don't know how that works. But anyway. Another weird news. I don't know if you remember, people, this giant yellow plastic duck that was the subject of much...
the Hong Kong duck, right?
The Hong Kong duck that moved to Beijing later on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then was deflated after that.
That duck changed my life, man. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, we have actually a copy of this duck out here in the studio.
Yeah.
You may have heard this duck earlier on earlier podcasts. Well, I've got news for you. It's time to get updated and to buy a new figure, because now the same artist, called Florentin Joffman, has decided to bring a giant pink cat to Shanghai Central Park. It's out there now. You can go and see it. It's made of bamboo, and it's pink. But it's not as big as the duck, I'm sorry to say.
That's whack.
It's wacky, but it's quite impressive. And
well, I do like kitty cats. That's one thing.
It's supposed to bring you luck. It's waving at you, and because they said, the artist said that the duck brought actually luck and health to Hong Kong.
I think so. Does a kitty cat have a name, or?
I don't think so, but it does have healing properties.
Okay.
It's just having a cat in the family.
Let's just call him Mr. Whiskers.
Mr. Whiskers, beautiful kitty cat. In other weird news, Chinese man is stuck in South Korea after his son draws all over his passport.
I saw that. Yes.
Yeah.
In his defense, it's pretty good work. So.
It's pretty awesome artist, actually. And it's not just the face that is being defaced, so to speak. It's the whole passport page.
He went to town.
Yeah. He took his time and probably had a good half hour dealing with his passport. And I think the result is better than the original.
But is it really? I mean, I think that got picked up everywhere. I mean, does that? I'm surprised that that got such buzz. Let's just face it, kids are jerks. All right, just stay away from them. Don't try to make them. There's really no need for them.
Yeah, it's detrimental to your health. That we know.
Pretty sure cloning is right around the corner. So you don't even need to get involved with it anymore.
Avoid, kid, at all costs. That is Sacco's advice for the week. So
Pod people. That's what we need.
we need adults directly,
Yes.
I mean,
Or no, I mean, you can grow up in a pod. You just don't speak, or you have a tube, and then you come out as adults.
You just don't annoy anyone.
That seems.
Don't shout, scream, and yell and run around.
Well, I mean, if you want to advance, that's how it happens. If you want to stay in the past, you stay in the past.
You can have fun making them, but please dispose of them until they're 15 or something.
I'm just kidding, Mom.
Oh, Mom.
Oh.
Hello to Sacco's mom. Okay, the last thing of weird news that I'd like to go, and it's a cool segue into something I want to talk about Sacco in a moment, is apparently Baidu Tieba is an online vault where fans and weirdos of every topic can create their own forum and indulge in their fandom, whether a craze over celebrities, obsession, or ideology, or simply share outre hobbies. Just directly quoting from the worldofchinese.com website. And one netizen browsing through the forums found a group named Men Wearing Dresses Forum. And he clicked and it was increasingly overwhelmed and felt compelled to share what he saw with fellow netizens. So you can see different pictures of guys dressed, posing in women's attire.
Yeah,
basically.
I could see that being popular.
It's quite popular. It's out there in the streets.
Is it all
sometimes.
across? Is it just mainland mostly? Does it look like?
It looks
like
it looks like different parts of China.
Oh, yeah, those are mainland boys.
Yeah. And so this is a good segue into the picture you sent me, because I always ask guests to send me pictures over for the website of the podcast, and you sent me a very weird picture. Can you talk to us about this picture a little bit?
Well, that's weird in your context. I don't know what. That's just my usual Friday night. No, I am part owner of 390, which is one of the few LGBT bars here in Shanghai, and part of kind of riding that horse is you have to play along, and sometimes I'm a fireman, and sometimes I'm cleaning the pole, and sometimes I'm dressing as a girl. It's just you got to roll with the punches. So, and that specific night, actually, what happened that specific night, it was a policeman themed called "Kiss Me, I'm a Policeman," which is very innovative. I think of these names too. So, but I couldn't find a full costume for the male one, but they had a female one at the costume shop with the Holiday House down there, not too far from here. And so I had to play along. So nice little tight-fitting police dress is what I sent you.
It's beautiful, and if you want to be Sacco in a tight-fitting female police attire, go to ShanghaiComedyCorner.com and you'll ravish your eyes. It's quite a sight. So Sacco, where are you from?
I am from California originally.
Yeah, California. And what do you do out here in Shanghai? Because we keep talking about 390. I think pretty much.
Have you ever worn a dress? Sorry to go back to that. I didn't really.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have when I was like 14 for.
But not really. I mean, just for fun. Not really publicly for.
Publicly for nah.
Have you been to Lai Lai Dance Hall? That's what.
I haven't actually. I've heard of.
Yeah, have you heard of it?
I've heard of it.
For those who don't know, Lai Lai Dance Hall is a very sweet club, or not really a club, more just a hall where people of the male persuasion dance with one each other. And yes. It's a very innocent place, actually. It's a very working class. But the funny thing about it is there's a drag show every week, okay. and also there's a so you have the age group is around 50 to, let's say, 120 in the drag show. And probably mostly towards the 100 range, if I had to get it. But and also every week it's like a ballroom dancing, then there's a drag show, then there's a raffle. And at the raffle, the main prize is a rice cooker. And as you can imagine, a lot of these guys that go are actually married, and so they come home with a lot of rice cookers. They have to explain why they have so many damn rice cookers. But you should get a chance to go up there. It's in Hongkou District.
It's in Hongkou District, yeah. I've heard of this place.
Friday and Saturday. It's pretty early. But
yeah, it's like 5 or something, yeah.
And you could put on a dress there if you like.
Okay, I'll take that as a piece of advice.
You'll be the belle of the ball.
I'll be the belle of the bar.
But yeah, I'm from California. That's what... and mostly San Francisco, but that's where I moved here from. I lived there about 9 years.
9 years, wow. Okay.
Before here, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, we keep mentioning 390 in this podcast almost every week because so many things happen over there. And
so you're the reason of our success.
Yeah, I am actually, and I was about to ask you for some money in return. You know.
Oh, this is just a big sponsorship plug. First Smack, $3.90. Then it's Starbucks. I see your road you're going on.
Yeah. Tomorrow's the Coca-Cola or something. Yes, and so it's a thriving place for events. It's an LGBT bar, as you said, but it's way more than that, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely more than that. I mean, it's a multi-use space, is what he would say. And eventually, me and my partner, my business partner Jack, who owns Shanghai Studio, we were going to do Friday nights, live music every Friday night, and then kind of more LGBT themes Thursday and Saturday, and then some other comedy and plays and whatnot and theatrical things. And so the live music hasn't worked out as much because of just some issues with the man and such. But we still do some live music, and we do quite a bit of comedy now, which is great. As you know, the Smack are every Thursday, which are they've been doing it for I don't know how long, 3 months on Thursdays?
3 or 4 months, yeah.
It's been packed every Thursday. I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised at all. We'll back that up.
Okay.
Beep.
We'll delete that from the...
No, but it's great. Thursdays are great.
But also the Shanghai Tickler open mic.
Yeah, every Tuesday open mic. And last week, that guy that came on last week,
Tom Rhodes.
Yeah, Tom Rhodes he's from America as well, and
Comedy Central.
Or, maybe Canada. Is he American or Canadian?
He's American.
It's the same place. Don't let anyone tell you different. But yeah, he was amazing. He came on as a surprise guest at the Shanghai Tickler. And he did a whole set about how he got scammed by the tea house scam that day.
Yeah.
And I thought he was just bullshitting. But now he showed me the pictures of the couple that scammed him and everything like that. And like they took around a poll like throughout and it turns out like half the guys in the place had been that whole scam has happened.
Yeah, I have been too.
I mean, you fell for the scam?
Yeah, I fell for the scam. Yeah,
it's such a and it is like an innocent. Was it a boy and a girl or
it was two girls?
It was 2 girls.
It was like 10, let's say 8 or 9 years ago, and I was living in North Jiangsu province and was just visiting for a few days. I was in between jobs, kind of jobless, and I said, I'll just go to Shanghai for 3 days. Just I've never really been there. I flew almost directly to that.
Okay, so it was in Shanghai you got scammed.
It was like, let's go. And then, sure enough, I was walking down Nanjing Loop,
just
Nanjing
an innocent boy,
innocent boys, and 2 beautiful girls with perfect English.
Yeah,
and I was like, hey, and you know what? They were so good because I felt like I had chosen the tea place. I felt like.
What'd they get you for? What was the final amount if you don't mind saying?
Not much. It was like 400 kwai.
Okay, no,
but at the
bad.
time, it was like horrendous.
Seems like
a horrendous amount of, and I didn't drink tea. I drank Coca-Cola, and
why did you drink Coke at a tea?
I didn't Coke. No, I just drank Coke, and because it was the cheapest thing on the menu. It was like already 30 kwai at the time, and I bit into watermelon. And I said that the fruit platter was 400 kwai.
There you go.
Yeah, so it was a tea house, but they got me for the fruit platter.
Well, yeah, I've heard people up to like 2,000 kwai, so you got off lucky. So.
Yeah, I was okay.
If you call it that.
Yeah.
But you learned a life lesson, so that's your 400 kwai to never speak to anyone ever. Basically, is what he learned there.
Never engage in conversation with anyone at all. I'm surprised I'm talking to you tonight.
Danger.
Well, and the thing is, as it happened for Tom Rhodes, after the scam, they kept talking to me. They want to hang out.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, are you crazy? You just scammed me 400 kwai.
Well,
You just make me fork over 400
I raped you from the back. Might as well rape you from the front. So you saw Tom Rhodes at the
Kung Fu Comedy Club.
At the Kung Fu, the main event time.
If you had listened to this podcast last week, you would have known and bought tickets for it, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it was a good show.
It was a fantastic show. Tom Rhodes is.
Yeah, I was blown away. I'm glad.
Yeah. He's a professional guy. He's got a very successful, one of the most successful, if not the most successful podcast, actually comedy podcast. So I'm trying to bring some sort of competition here.
Okay.
And it just happens that I was at the club early. And he was there early, too, and there was no one in the club, so we got to talking for like 30 minutes. He's the most awesome thing. He knew I came from Montpellier, south of France, and he had a story about it, and he said, I'm going to do that story about the guy from Montpellier on the show, and he did, and it was great. I like his humor because he's very casual, in the way. It's not like... you can't deviate from what he's about to say. He's very casual, goes with the flow, and he's really cool.
I could really put my finger on it, but he was just just good high energy, and just seemed to take it to place very well. So I love it. Yeah. So Tom Rose, you should check him out wherever he's at now.
Yeah, definitely. He comes often now, and then he's got this really good podcast. So get on iTunes and check him out. So you come from America, from San Francisco, and you started as a computer guy.
Yeah, I was just a company computer guy. Nothing special. I mean, in my 20s, I spent the whole time by day doing the computer job, and by night I worked with music in mostly the capacity of actually radio and a little bit making magazines and putting on some shows. You know, just the regular DIY kind of San Francisco. Don't put on deodorant, and you know, I call it when I used to believe in stuff. Right?
But you had a good time running a pirate radio station, right?
Yep, for about a little over 5 years.
Wow.
I built and ran a pirate radio station. Mostly I was on the end of technical side, but just did the programming, a little bit of the engineering, and I had a weekly show as well. So
that's fantastic. But you also said that this was the best moment of your life, one of the best moments, but also one of the worst, as you had to live in a laundry room shack?
Well, the last place, it was some of the best times of my life because I was able to eventually when I left, we had so many good radio shows from all aspects of life in San Francisco, which, as you can imagine, there's a lot of aspects of life in San Francisco. I think there's a saying that says, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. But there's another saying, anyone can make it in San Francisco. So there's a lot of us. But yeah, the problem is it's freaking expensive.
It is, yeah.
And when I moved from there to Shanghai, I was at the time sharing basically a laundry shack that wasn't even attached to the house, and so like the wind would go through and it'd be cold, and and if we ever even like brought somebody home, we would call and say, "Hey, I need the couch or I need the bed." So,
oh my god!
And I still paid like $6.50 to share. That's the shared price of that. So
it's a share price.
It's not a cheap city. I heard it's even worse now, I guess, because all the techs, Google guys.
It is increasing. And it used to be like the hippie place. It used to be the
heart used to be in San Francisco.
Yeah, it was, but it's destroying it now. The tech people.
Maybe destroying, maybe not. Maybe we're just crying about it. Maybe flipping over Google buses. Right.
I was there last summer for the first time. I was just blown away by it. Blown away by the city. Anyway, you're in Shanghai now, and you got lots of things running. We have the 390 bar, of course, but you also have other projects like Uptown Record. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, I've been doing Uptown Record. I think Uptown Record Store about a little over 3 years now, and that's kind of my baby. It's one of the first vinyl record stores actually in mainland China. There wasn't a really big vinyl culture before. And also, it's one of the few stores that sells independent music from China.
Wow.
Like everything from Beijing to Wuhan and rock to electronic. So we do some small shows down there, and it's kind of like what keeps me going. It's down not too far actually from 390. It's like a couple blocks away off Xingfulu and Pingulu. You should stop on by sometime.
Fantastic. You also write for smartshanghai.com.
Yep. So I've been doing that for about 2 years. I do their weekly music column, which the only sad thing about that is I can't form sentences. No one ever taught me how to read, and so the editors kind of give me they're not a fan when I have to submit an article because just punctuation and general basic stuff you should learn. I never picked up on, but it's fun. Actually, today the article published today is a really good one about. Like 60s and 70s, Cantonese and Mandarin, like garage rock and kind of like psych rock and disco and stuff like that. Some of a lot of stuff that people didn't know was around. Not so much on the mainland because the mainland was kind of rough living back in the 60s and 70s, but in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and also Singapore, there's some really amazing scenes. You should go to check out Smart Shanghai. It should be on all week on the front. It's called Music Monday. And so that's where that is at.
So how do you get into this music so much? I mean, you were raised in a musical environment, or
no, just through going to shows as kids. I guess through older kids like my older sisters and brothers, and just going to. I think I started going to shows when I was on 10 or something. I think Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine was my first show. So,
Wow.
I mean, after that, there's no turning back. How much take a body gonna do it longer?
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
You try to turn away from music after that.
Yeah. That's great because there's lots happening in Shanghai with local music. I mean, it's amazing all the things. I don't know if you know about Town, listeners, but it's an amazing place where lots of things happen. There's lots of venues across town. I don't know the difference between Shanghai and Beijing. Maybe you can elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Shanghai's an amazing place, and there are a bunch of great venues and people doing stuff here. Beijing has probably like 10 times the amount of bands, just because there's a little bit of rougher edge city. I think that's part of it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just made that up.
There's nothing else to do.
But yeah, so Beijing has there's a lot of bickering up there too. And my friends from Beijing, they say, oh well, there's all these bands, but we all hate each other. So it doesn't even necessarily more is better, but there is more going on up there. Here, there's more of like electronic scene, I would say, like people doing, independent, like either dance music or experimental music or even noise music. And Shanghai is kind of known for more of that side of it. Musically wise.
Fantastic. So before we go into more about your interview, I'd like to promote some of the things happening soon or this week or in the next couple of weeks in Shanghai. The first thing is, for those who missed it last week, I interviewed Charlene and Raymond, who are co-organizers of the Shanghai Pride this year, Shanghai Pride number 6. And here's the interview I had with them. Listen up, because there's a ton of different events for Shanghai Pride. Hi, Charlene. Hi, everyone. This is Julian from Shanghai Comedy Corner Podcast. I'm here with Charlene and Raymond, and we're going to talk about Shanghai Pride. So first of all, hi, Charlene.
Hello.
Hi. So you're the co-founder of Shanghai Pride. You've been here, 6 years now?
Almost there.
And you're an engineer. You're from Malaysia. Right, and here I'm with Raymond.
Hey.
Hi, Raymond. Nice to have you here. You're the co-organizer of Shanghai.
Yes.
Pride. And how long have you been in Shanghai?
This is my 5th year.
Your 5th year. And you work in...
Telecommunications.
And you're also from Malaysia.
Yes.
All right. So I'm very excited to be promoting Shanghai Pride, because I know you're striving to create more awareness of the LGBT community in Shanghai, and you're promoting diversity and tolerance. So Raymond, first I would like to ask you, what is the theme for the 6th year of Shanghai Pride?
This year we have set our theme as Better Together. Okay. This is our 6th year of Shanghai Pride, and we've been covering a lot of great topics over the past 5 years, and this year we are going to focus again on topics that we haven't covered for the near years: HIV, AIDS, and transgender.
That's great. Charlene, can you tell us a bit more about the partners you've managed to round up for this year?
Sure. First of all, I'd like to say that Shanghai Pride is run entirely by volunteers with the support of many partners. Partners include businesses, foreign consulates, NGOs, as well as venues around the city. So really, it is actually a community event.
Right. So just to give an idea of how Shanghai Pride has grown over the years, you started 6 years ago. How many people were with you 6 years ago?
Well, 6 years ago, we had about 10 key organizers and maybe another 10 volunteers. But today, we have about 20 key organizers and almost 100 signed-up volunteers. So we have seen a significant growth throughout the years, and we're really, really happy about that.
All right. So I wanted to ask you, how do we get in touch? How do we know what's going on with Shanghai Pride this year?
Sure. You can always get your updates and information at shpride.com. That is our website. And you can also follow us on WeChat, and our ID is Shanghai-Pride.
Okay. Cool. Raymond, can you tell us a little bit more about the big events, the important events that are going on about?
This year we are going to have, again, a very big, fabulous opening party, which is really colorful and resembles our Better Together. Mm-hmm. And we are going to have a series of theater plays. One of them will be exploring about the transgender community, and the other will be trying to reflect the Chinese community about about wives of the gay men. Yeah.
So the opening party is on June 14th, right?
Yes, it is on the 14th of
And
June.
we're not going to tell you where it is. If you want to know, you have to go to shpride.com.
True, yes.
Or sign up on WeChat Shanghai-Pride. However, because this podcast is about comedy and theater play, I'm very excited to see messages, conveyed across plays. I think it's a very nice medium to convey different issues like coming out or anything. So can you tell us just a little bit more about the theater?
This year we are, like I said just now, that we have this identity series for the theater. We have one coming up early in June. It's called The Cock. It's about exploring gay men, of course. And the second one will be Rendezvous. We're going to explore the relationships and the self-discovery journey of the transgender community, as well as a local play coming up as well called Easy and Irving. This is about wives of gay men in the Chinese community. These are really exciting topics to discover and play with during Shanghai Pride.
All right. Thank you very much, Raymond. And Charlene, can you just wrap it up for us and let us know about all the exciting events that are coming up in June?
Of course, besides parties and theater, we also have panel discussions, film festival, the art exhibition, and trivia night. And this will encompass topics that we're going to talk about this year, which is HIV awareness coming out, as well as about us existing and just having fun. So
Right.
and don't forget, a lot more parties coming up.
Yes, great parties all throughout the month of June. If you want to know all about this, please go to shpride.com or sign up on your WeChat official accounts, Shanghai-Pride. Thank you, Charlene.
Thank you.
And
Thank
you, Raymond.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Charlene and Raymond, and so as you can see, there's tons of things happening. And just as a little reminder, on the 6th and the 7th of June at the Pearl Theater, the same space for his Mac show, is the play called Cock, and you should definitely go and see it. Two of my friends are in there that I know very well. It's filthy. John Propercast and I forgot. Oh, yes, Owen Keats are in there.
Owen's,
And so you should definitely go.
I've been hearing them rehearse a bit. It's gonna, it's maybe don't bring the kids. I don't know.
Oh, is that
possibly?
Is it rated?
I would say five and up. 5 and up's fine.
5. Oh, well, how liberal you are.
You can bring your pod.
Bring your pod. Obviously, there's these Mac's 5th anniversary show at the Pearl 2 on the 14th. You can buy your tickets at $3.90. You can also email kurt@zmac.net or just go and visit zmac.net for more information if you forget.
That's probably one of the biggest shows of the year, right?
It is. It is the biggest Mac show of the year.
And so, how much? So you should buy pre-sale tickets. I think, like you said, you can pick it up at $3.90. They're just $100, right? And
Yeah, just $100 with a drink. And
but it's $150 without, so get down there.
Yeah, you better buy tickets.
Plus, it's going to sell it anyway, so you better get those
They're
tickets
selling
now.
fast. They're selling fast. Another thing I'd like to promote this week is DAF Design, Art, and Fashion Fair, DAF. It's going to be at Westbund, and there's Westbund.
That's not a real thing, I don't think.
Actually, it's a new.
They just keep extending the bun where it is.
Exactly.
It's actually in Hongqiao, but
it's actually near the airport. And there's going to be a booth for Pride and a booth for Upton Records. So you want to be there.
Yeah, actually, you should. If you're ever thinking about buying a record player, I have a new batch in. It's little suitcase ones. They're really neat, and they're just 500 kwai. But if you want to start your vinyl collection, your road, then feel free to come out and test it out and just see how see if it fits your style.
Yeah, and they go for very cheap anyway, right?
You can even, and if you don't end up buying records, you can plug in USB into it too, and so at least it looks cool. You just put one record on and just play the USB. That's what I do. I just want to look cool.
Yeah, well, don't we all? Don't we all? There's also Dr. Sketchy on the 14th and the 15th of June.
That's a big weekend, damn.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do that weekend, shit.
And at the same time is Shanghai Pride opening party, as you heard in the interview on the same night. So first, This is what you're going to do that weekend. You don't have to plan anything. Julian from Shanghai Comedy Corner Podcast is here to plan your weekend that weekend in June. Listen to me. First, you check out the Smack Show at the Pearl. Then you go to the Shanghai Pride opening party. I think it's at M2. So it's on your way back downtown.
M2, that's correct.
And then after that, the next day, you just go and check out Dr. Sketchy.
Dr. Sketchy. Every time they have a different model, and this time I believe it is Booty Calypso is his name, and from what I understand, he's very bendable. So get your tickets for that as well.
If you don't know what Dr. Sketchy is, basically it's an event where you go with your own paper and pens and pencils, right?
They have some paper and pens there, but yeah, you should bring your own if you want. And yeah, basically it's just a sketching. It's like I believe it's called an anti-art event, which means it's not pretentious, and people sketch and they share each other's sketches, and there's a couple prizes. I think there's like 5 or 6 rounds. There's like mostly like champagne, and there's maybe a couple painting lessons as prizes, and some sketch color pencils and stuff like that. But it's a really, really neat event, and it's unique because pretty sure there's nothing been done like that in Shanghai, and the past year and a half they've really built up a nice team, so you should check it out.
Check it out. It's a nice community event. You should meet a lot of cool people.
It's all about the kids. Oh wait, no.
Let's go back to Sacco. Sacco. The first thing I wondered about you when I first met you is, why Sacco? I've never heard that name before. Is it a common name? I'm not aware of.
Oh, it's not my real name, no. My real name is Daniel David.
Oh, wow.
That doesn't sound very fun, though.
Sacco is definitely better. What is any story behind?
I'm sure. I mean, it was my name actually in the radio in San Francisco, and when I was doing zines and stuff. It's actually an Italian anarchist martyr from the early 1900s in America, who was part of like the early 1900s Industrial Revolution, labor riots and stuff. It's known as 2 people, Sacco and Vanzetti, who were hanged for supposedly killing a police officer, which I still say they didn't do it. I mean, I wasn't there, but
it's fishy business.
So that's where when I moved here, turns out there's just a bunch of Daniels in Shanghai. I met like 40 Daniels when I first moved here. Like my roommate when I first moved here was Daniel, and like a couple guys from the music scene. So I'm just gonna give up my Christian name.
Well, you definitely made a name for yourself, if you allow me the pun, in being a co-owner of 390 and managing studio earlier on.
I miss managing studio. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I don't manage studio as much. I put those duties onto somebody else. But studio is definitely one of the most insane places in Shanghai. It's great. It's real, and I've seen it like go from when I first started DJing there a few years ago. It was like a few guys in the basement, and
it's not much.
They didn't really want to like have their picture taken because maybe they have family and stuff out. But now there's like 1,000 guys.
Crazy.
And if you don't take the picture, they get pissed off. So the past year, through Pride and through everything, it's been an interesting trip to see.
Well, if you don't know, studio, it's an underground kind of bomb. Oops, I'm bumping into the microphone. It's a bomb shelter kind of.
Bomb shelter bar.
Bomb shelter bar, basically.
Just like the shelter,
and
one of those bars.
It's in one of the most famous, the most famous gay venue. But just for the venue, even if you're not gay, you just go and check it out because it's just an amazing.
Cavernous.
It's cavernous. There's lots of corridors and rooms.
Batman might be there. I don't know.
And hopefully his partner Robin.
I'm sure Robin's there.
Half naked. And I've been there a few times, and what I've noticed is I didn't know they had so many rooms actually, and year after year they would open rooms, new rooms, redecorate, rearrange. It's just a really cool place to be and party, Oh
yeah, it's super fun. Friday night, go on Friday night.
Friday night is the night, yes, at studio. Okay, let's go back to a more personal question now. Sure. You told me that you once dated a girl from Smart Shanghai.
Yeah, from Smart Shanghai.
Were you working at Smart Shanghai at the time?
No. This was a few years ago. I've only been working at Smart Shanghai about a little less than 2 years, and this was maybe like 4 years ago or something like that.
Oh, that was prehistory.
4 years ago.
4 years in Shanghai. It's like 20 years in Europe,
Yeah, I always tell people, I've been here a little over 5 years, but I always tell people it's a year less, just on my mind. If I knock out a year, it's only been here 4 years, but I've been here 5.5 years. Because in my mind, that sounds better.
Although 4 is not such a nice number here in China.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Anyway, so you dated a girl from Smart Shanghai, from the personal ads in Smart Shanghai. By the way, I just gave away a nice tip for all you newcomers. And her name was...
Her name was Gorgon, or I called her the Gorgon.
The Gorgon.
She's not listening, but she's probably not.
So all of those who don't know what a Gorgon is, it's the race.
Yeah, well, Gorgon, I mean, it's mythological based from a Greek mythology, whatever, but it's basically the race of Medusa. You know, Medusa was the chick with the snakes on her head, and she had the snake for a tail, and her sisters were witches. But yeah, that's the race of the witches that they are, Medusa.
But what you wonder, and I like this little anecdote, is you wonder how the name was chosen.
Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't on the first date I brought that up, but I think it was on the third or fourth almost. So what's up?
I need to ask you something.
Why the hell is your name Gorgon? It's not really a positive thing in history either. So it's like, even Medusa, I would take Medusa, but just like the race of
it sounds like a male name.
Yeah, it's a little strong male too.
Yeah. Strong male. I'm sorry, but calling you that name in bed kind of freaks me out a little bit, It's kind of cool at the same time.
Yeah, so I finally asked her, and it turned out, I think she said she was in third grade or something like this, and her teacher at the time, I'm not sure if it was a foreign teacher or a Chinese teacher, but they handed out straws to everybody, and everyone drew a stick or a straw and got an English name, and that's what she drew. She was lucky enough to draw the Gorgon, and now that's her name for the rest of her life. And I think she was going to go to Australia too. And so I can imagine when these people are reading these, like, she's an accountant. So when these people are reading an application for a job in Australia, they're like, okay, I think we got a real go-getter upper management written all over her. For God's sake, she's the Gorgon. She gets the job done.
Done. No need to interview. You just hired.
Yeah. But also, what I want to know is what the hell are on those rest of the sticks, and what kind of complexes these kids, or how they're called, like, Zeus and other whoever was ever in these names that were drawn, and all these weird complexes they now have because this teacher was just messing around. Like,
I want to see where Oedipus is.
Oedipus seems to have some other issues now. I don't know.
I don't know
where they stem from. Possibly the name that you gave him, Oedipus.
Well, he was probably. He was just jailed. He murdered his father.
Why he wants to make love to his mother so bad?
How about Kronos? Or Hephaestus? Oh, poor kid. Anyway,
but that's just one of those interesting things that you come across in Shanghai that you probably won't come across other places. And it's sometimes being here a while. You've been here how long? You said 10 years now, or
9 years. 9 years and counting. Yeah.
So I mean, it still doesn't get dull. There's still stuff still comes up like that.
That's the beautiful thing about a place like Shanghai. You walk down the street and it's still like your first day. You're still amazed by things that happen on the street. It's just amazing. What did I just see the other day? A guy almost completely naked, just today, painted in green, skateboarding in the middle of Huahailu and being filmed by dudes with camera phones and also like proper dudes filming them too. It's just like it's random moments. Hipsters in the middle of rush hour.
Gotta stop them somehow.
Yeah, it was just random. But you also you told me about a zine at the end of the month that you're publishing. You want to talk about that? That's amazingly interesting.
Well, yeah, because I already have enough projects. But I used to do, back in California and stuff, I used to do zines. Basically, I don't know how to make music. I just know how to write about it and talk about it online and play it to other people. So anyway, I'm starting up it's a new idea, kind of in conjunction with 5 independent record stores across China, and there is only 5. It's a very emerging market, as they say, just like my gay bar. So basically, it's a small record, the 7-inch one, and it's on this first issue, and it's called Jiaoji, which means intersection. And this first one, which is released on the 28th at 390, is a local band called The Ciders, which are like a kind of Shanghainese garage rock, surf rock, fun band. And on the other side of that is a band called DOA, which are like a kind of famous punk band from Canada. And so basically the idea of it's mostly in Chinese, but on the website it'll be English. And so it comes with a magazine with a record inside, and there's interview with the two bands, and there's a couple articles and reviews about other Chinese music coming out, and then then there's a release party. And the best thing is, like, you get to keep, the record as, like, a momentum, like, because magazines, sometimes they don't last as long, especially these days.
Yeah.
But if you stick a record in there, then you're holding on to that. So
Yeah.
that's the idea on that.
The sleeves is part of the whole thing,
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun just to have something, like,
the
it's kind of a timestamp as well, like, of the music and what's going on. So.
And if you're going to DAF, you can get the record player to play it on.
So if you want to get a head start on it, come on down to my DAF booth, both Saturday and Sunday. I'm one of the bigger booths, so look for the big booths.
Oh.
Hopefully I'm next to Pride. I'm hoping I get paired up with a Pride so we can really party it up.
That'd be super cool.
I'm gonna burn that mother down. I'll tell you what. Look out, Daff. We're coming for you.
There you go.
Me and Charlene together. You don't want to see us.
Oh, Charlene. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Charlene was pretty mild on the interview.
Oh, yeah. You might have saw that in the interview. But
yeah, she's a riot.
You get after the DAC, you'll see what's really going on.
Couple of beers. Anyway, that's fantastic. And for those listeners who have made it so far until the podcast, I have 2 tickets to give away for this Mac's 5th anniversary show.
200. That's almost 300 kwai worth of money. That's crazy.
That's amazing. You only have to answer this question. Listen carefully, listeners. Just a moment ago, Sacco was mentioning one of the theme nights at 390 for the LGBT crowd. So if you can answer this question and send me the answer to shanghaicomedycorner@gmail.com, the first correct answer gets 2 tickets to the show. The question is, for the theme show at the one of the LGBT nights at 390, the theme was "Kiss Me, I Am a What?" Kiss me, I am a what? And
it's not Leather Daddy.
It's not Leather Daddy.
Although that's the next one.
But if you remember what it is, send your answer with your phone number and everything that I need to know. Shanghai Comedy Corner. And you know, I keep saying this all the time. ShanghaiComedyCorner@gmail.com, and the first correct answer gets 2 free tickets for this Mac's 5th anniversary comedy show.
The Fancy Pearl Theater. Ooh.
Fancy Pearl Theater. Oh my God, I can't believe there's such a thing in Shanghai.
That's amazing.
And we have access to it.
Really amazing.
It's just amazing. If you don't know what the Pearl Theater is, it's right off Shanghai, Sichuan Beilu.
Yeah, line 10, right?
Line 10. 2
right
minutes walking distance from Sichuan Beilu Station on line 10. Just 3 stops above Nanjinglu, People's Square area. And so it's really worth checking out just for the venue. Even if we're not funny, come and see the venue. It's worth the price of admission.
It's gonna be a horrible show. But, good scenery. That's worth 100 kwai right there.
Yeah. When you go to meet people and beautiful
drinks
people,
are like 500 kwai each. But it's really good scenery. Really good, amazing.
Yeah.
It used to be an old Buddhist temple, I believe, or something.
Yes,
like that.
it was built by the Germans. I think we mentioned that before in the show. It was built by the Germans as a Shintoist temple.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was turned into an Egyptian-themed karaoke bar at some point.
Oh, really? I didn't know that part of it. Crazy.
Some other crazy stuff they did before they finally renovated it a few years ago into a cabaret, burlesque cabaret sort of place. So it's really worth going there. Okay, well, it's been almost an hour talking to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, it just flies right by.
It does. All right. I want my little friend Rubber Duck is saying goodbye to all of you.
Look out for Mr. Whiskers on the streets.
And thank you, Sacco, for being part of this podcast.
Yeah, it's great. Like I said, a really big fan of Julian's stuff at Smack, and also his every once in a while come and see him at the old Tickler when if he gets on stage. There.
Yeah, stand up. That's my next calling. And go to 390, talk to Sacco. He's a great guy. Go to Uptown Records.
Don't talk to me, actually. Email's better. Maybe something more impersonal, like a fax. You can send me a fax. That'd be great. So.
Who uses fax apart from the French?
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for having me. It was great.
It was great. Okay, see you next week. Bye-bye.
Rock and roll.